ladies and gentlemen. It's currently 9:15 a.m. How are we doing today? Let me see. Yeah, everything's situated. Welcome to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti here. And can I be honest with you for a second, man? When making this show, I was supposed to do this at 7 a.m., but I realized that today I wasn't going to have much to really talk about. So I think I'm going to save the 7 a.m. episode for Monday. I think it's better that I save it for Monday because we're going to go over all the games that happened Sunday. Washington Commanders game versus the Texans, and then we'll preview the Monday night game. We'll have a lot more to talk about. So I was just going to come on here at the normal time, 9 a.m. But before we get into that, I want to ask you guys, like this stream, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when we go live with another episode of Top of the Morning Show. And if you guys are new and you can't listen to it live, don't worry. It is going to be on all podcasting platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So with that being said, let's get to opening statement. So, can I be honest, man? This is probably like the first time in I don't know how long. This is like the first time maybe ever in me watching football where I can't figure out who's gonna win the Super Bowl. Like everybody has a chance to win, or should I phrase it as like no one is the runaway favorite to win the Super Bowl right now. At least in my opinion. Like there is not one team in the NFC nor AFC that I look at and just say, oh yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl right now. And normally by this time we start to detect who is going to be the Super Bowl, favorites, the people that are going to be in the Super Bowl more likely than not. I'm still sitting here not being able to detect it. I don't know if I'm the only one, but that's how I feel. And we'll go over the playoff picture later today in the show. But that's how I feel when it comes to that. I mean, literally in the NFC, anybody probably outside the Bears and Lions, and maybe now the Packers, could still possibly win it. Like anybody in the NFC, believe it or not, could win the Super, go to the Super Bowl, not win it, but go to the Super Bowl. Even the Giants, yes, they're 7-2 right now. Even my Washington Commanders are sitting at 5-5 right now. NFC South, I mean, anybody, besides, only team in the NFC South that really can win it is probably the Bucks. But even them, still in that 5-5, they're like, and you really didn't see them going to the Super Bowl a month ago. They still could make it. Hell, not even a month ago, a couple weeks ago, before they even won that game versus the Seahawks in Germany. Then you go to the NFC West. I mean, the 49ers can win it. The Cardinals can win it. Or should I say go? Let me stop saying win. Let me say go. Because I honestly believe the winner is going to be in the AFC. But let me say go instead of win. The Seahawks could go, although you probably don't think they will with Geno Smith. That's how wide open this thing is right now. There's nobody in the NFC nor AFC that I sit right now, but mainly the NFC that I sit right now and say, yeah, they're the odds-on favorite to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, of course, you could probably say Kansas City, but I can even see Kansas City getting knocked off in the AFC Championship. this is the most wildest year that I've seen, and I honestly prefer this. I prefer a season like this. This has probably been one of my most favorite seasons. I prefer a season like this over a predictable season where it's the same 4 teams jockeying for the playoff position in the Super Bowl. It's like, okay, Packers, Bucks, 49ers, Rams, Bills, Chiefs, Titans, and let's see who come out the East normally, or not the East, but the North, the Ravens, Bengals. Like, even the Bengals, I wouldn't be mad at, but the Ravens, let me go with the Ravens because they're normally the ones that always be at it. Like this year, it's gonna be a lot of new people in the playoffs, and I prefer it to be like this, where everybody is still in there, and you can't tell who's going to go to the Super Bowl, or at least make a nice playoff run. Like any team that still has a realistic chance to make it to the playoffs could go on a late season run and find themselves in the Super Bowl like the Bengals last year. Like, who thought the Bengals were going to be in the Super Bowl last season? They got hot at the right time, and in the playoffs, Joe Burrow was crazy. Jamar Chase was crazy. I can very well see that from a team like, dare I say, the Washington Commanders, the New York Giants. Like, I understand the Giants don't have a ton of talent, but if they can get hot at the right time, and although they're 7-2, they're solid right now. You know, they have a chance to become the number 1 seed with the Eagles lost. They'll be tied for number 1 seed with the Eagles lost and they'll win Sunday, right? But no one really saw that from the Giants. But same with the Bengals last year. If the Giants can get hot at the right moment, they can see themselves in the NFC Championship. Like, can we wrap our brain around the fact that the Giants may be the 1 seed? They have a chance to be the 1 seed and could have a first round bye, and the playoffs could run through MetLife Stadium. Can we wrap our brain around that? The New York Giants that doesn't have a number 1 receiver. Like, it's crazy right now. It's crazy right now that literally anybody can go to the Super Bowl, bro. Even the Cowboys. But we all know that's not happening. Alright, so said y'all not beating them boys. Hey, we play our last game of the season, bro. We play our last game of the season, so we'll see. That may be for some playoff positioning, bro. So we gonna see, bro. Oh God, I ain't even about to rap. I ain't gonna rap the Cowboys out right now. We gonna beat y'all. Anyways, getting back to playoff talk or not. I mean, what's the team in the NFC that you can honestly say you can't see making a late season run going to the Super Bowl? Outside of obviously the Packers and the Rams and the teams that are somewhat starting to become dead, everyone else has a chance, whether it's the Eagles, the Giants, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Washington Commanders. Like, everybody that's still technically alive. And we'll go over the 4 playoff picture. I'll have it pulled up here so you can see. Even everybody still has a chance. Then you go over the AFC side of things. You got the Dolphins, I believe, sitting at the 1 seed now. Who would have thought that? Like, I knew the Dolphins were going to be good, right? But I just didn't believe in Tua. Like, I'll be honest with you, bro. I didn't believe in Tua. I didn't think Tua would be playing like this. It was just like, it was so weird watching Tua. But I mean, I'm a left-handed person when it comes to throwing the football, but it's so rare that you see a left-hand quarterback nowadays that I'm like, all right, Tua, left-handed, undersized, has some injury concerns coming out of Alabama. Didn't get off to the best of starts in his NFL tenure. I didn't really have high hopes for Tua. I'm happy that he's proven me wrong because Tua is a fun guy, a likable guy. But I just ain't believe in him. But that offense is amazing, man. Like Tua, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki. That offense is nice. Throwing a little bit of Cedric Wilson. That offense is nice. I think the only thing, and their running back right now is cool. Raheem Mostert and a bunch of other guys, right? But I think the only position, and this has always been a Miami problem, for the past couple of years, only position I could say they could really need to upgrade, I could see them upgrade, is the running back position. And a nice guy for them probably would be Josh Jacobs, because I don't see Josh Jacobs re-signing with the Raiders. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so this is his last year with him. Then become a free agent. I can see Miami definitely going out to get a Josh Jacobs kind of guy. Now, with the season he's having, you'll have to pay him a bit of money, which I'm sure they could find a way to do that. Now, you look at everyone else. The Bills could still make the playoffs and or the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, the Bengals, the Ravens. We just went over the NFC. We know the AFC loaded. Hell, even the Titans. The Titans went on that kind of run a couple years ago when they made it to the AFC Championship. This is the most wide open the league has been in I don't know how long. It's exciting, man. It really is, because I love to see it. I mean, look, someone just said Alante. Shout out to Alante in the chat, and we'll give you more shout outs when we get to the shout out segment. Alante even said the Beast of the East, because both East divisions are really good right now. Even the Patriots, that has not really much talent, sitting at 5-4 right now. That should explain to you, that's just crazy. The Jets are the 5th seed right now. Is that not mind-boggling? The whole AFC is in the playoffs. The whole AFC East is in the playoffs. The whole AFC East is in the playoffs right now. So that's all for opening statements. I just want to come here to get my little thoughts about that. I don't know who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. It is as wide open as it's ever been. Everybody has a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. Anybody can knock off anybody. If you say the Chiefs are the favorite to win the Super Bowl this year, you're not wrong. But I could definitely see them getting knocked off by Miami in the AFC Championship. I could definitely see the Bengals knocking them off again. I could see the Ravens finally beating the Chiefs. I could see the Bills beating the Chiefs. I could see the Bills losing to the Jets, because that's a division rival in the playoffs. I could see the Ravens beating the Bills. I can see the Ravens beating the Titans. Everybody that's currently in the playoffs on the AFC side of things, I could see them beating each other. Same can be said for the AFC or NFC. I can see the Eagles, the 1 seed right now, losing to the 7th seed 49ers or the AFC Washington Commanders. I can see the Vikings losing to the 7th seed 49ers. But we can talk a little bit more about that in the next segment that we'll transition to right now. And that is taking a look as of Week 11's on the horizon. Got kicked off last night with the Titans and Packers game that we'll talk about later. We are going to take a look at the playoff picture as it stands right now. So if you're looking at it live, you'll be able to see it. But if you're not, you're listening to it on the podcast after it's been uploaded. Don't worry. I'll do a good job explaining everything for you. So as you can see, it's pulled up here for you right now, the playoff picture. So looking at both sides of things, let me go full screen here. Let me actually do some rearranging right quick and go full screen. Let me get me out of here. We're going to go full screen right now. There you go. So as you can see, the number one seed on the AFC side, we'll start with the AFC, is the Kansas City Chiefs. Not a shocker. Even post Tyreek Hill, they're still really good. They found a way to be good without him. Still got Travis Kelce, still got Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and they just filled up the roster with a lot of wide receivers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Juju Smith-Schuster, get Darius Toney mid-season, Poncho, whatever the rookie is, Sky Moore. I haven't seen a ton of Sky Moore, but he's still out there. Chiefs still reign supreme in the AFC South, or West rather. They got a Week 11 matchup versus the 5-4 Chargers, a game that I could very well see the Chiefs actually losing. Like, that's going to be a dogfight. Like, the Chargers had a letdown versus the 49ers, really, because they couldn't get nothing going in the second half, but a lot had to do with Brandon Staley and his play calling. Why are you going for it when you have 3 timeouts inside your own 5? That just made no sense, because if you didn't get it, you basically lost the game. And what happened? He lost the game. So didn't make sense for him, but I could very well see the Chargers actually beating the Chiefs. Then number 2 seed. So I got it wrong. It was actually the Dolphins. That's the number 2 seed, not the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed. The Miami Dolphins, who are currently on a bye, they're sitting pretty right now. Doesn't matter what happens with this weekend's action, they're going to be in the number 1 seed regardless of the fact. They're sitting pretty, 7-3 at a time where I didn't know if Tua was going to be good. I didn't know if he was going to come back from that injury he sustained earlier. I didn't know what to make of Miami. But they're good. They're 7-3. They traded for Bradley Chubb, got them some new money. That Dolphins team is locked and loaded, and they're ready to perform. And again, that's another team that I could very well see making a late season run and actually going to the Super Bowl. Then you got the number 3 seed Titans that are 7-3 now after defeating the Green Bay Packers, and stay around again, as we'll go over that later in the stream. Titans 7-3, even with the lack of weapons around Ryan Tannehill, I could still see them making another late season run like they did last year, or postseason run like they did last year, because they got the AFC South locked up. They play in the worst division in football, so they could never. So they don't have to worry about anything. It's nobody's that's a threat to them. Not the Jaguars, not the Colts, not the Texans. They're good. You can just give them the AFC South title now. They're good. But it's all about the postseason. What's going to happen when they get to the postseason? I could definitely see them making a late season run like they did a couple years ago, or postseason run rather, like they did a couple years ago on the back of Derrick Henry running through the AFC side of things until they meet like the Chiefs or something in the Bills, where they were forced to pass. So they're the 3rd seed. Then you got the Baltimore Ravens, who is another team that I don't think they have enough talent around Lamar Jackson. Like, Rashad Bateman's out yet again. He missed a lot of time last year. Now he's going to miss the rest of this year. And they tried to replace him with 35-year-old Deshaun Jackson. But how long will that hold up, right? You got Mark Andrews. You got Isaiah Likely. You got the running game with the running backs and Lamar Jackson's legs, Kenyon Drake, and all those guys. But it's not going to be enough to take you to the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I very well could see the Ravens losing to a team if this was to stay the same. I could definitely see the Jets going into Baltimore beating the Ravens. I could definitely see that. And you got the 5th seed, the New York Jets. Oh, the Ravens playing the Panthers. The Jets, this should be an easy one. Then you got the Jets versus the Patriots. Jets coming off of a bye week, so they'll be really healthy. But I can see the Patriots definitely winning this game because, Bill Belichick loves beating up on young coaches and young quarterbacks. So I can see the Patriots winning this game. But the Jets, man, they're sitting good, man. Who would have thought the Jets would be 6-3 right now? With how lackluster that offense has performed. That defense is amazing, man. So who expected? And be honest with me, if you're live in the comments, put it down below. Who expected Sauce Gardner to make that big of an impact for that defense? Like, I knew he was going to be good, but who thought his impact would have been so large that it has them at 6-3? I know y'all probably it's just a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? His impact is big, but it's not that game changing. Try taking him out of that lineup. You take Sauce Gardner out of that lineup, it's gonna be tragic for the Jets. He's made a tremendous impact. Robert Saleh, former defensive coordinator for the 49ers. So their defense being good as a whole isn't surprising. But the fact that they're 6-3 with their offense not performing the way they should or could, I should say, is really surprising. But they're sitting at the 5th seed right now and definitely could find themselves tied with the Dolphins for the 2 seed if they beat the Patriots this Sunday. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did they beat the Dolphins this year yet? I think they have. Could be wrong. Then you go to the 6th seed Buffalo Bills. You got the Buffalo Bills, and this is a team that, again, in the AFC East with the Jets and with the Dolphins, very well could see themselves winning that division or being right here at the 6th seed. The Bills have to play better. You know what I'm saying? They got to get back to playing Bills football. Josh Allen has to be much better. They got to run the football. You got 1,000,001 running backs, but you don't want to run the football. Bills got to be better. I have no doubt in my mind that they will, though. They'll fix it. But they definitely have to be better. They don't no longer have a cakewalk to the AFC East title. Every team in that division is capable of winning it, even the Patriots. Then you got the 7th seed New England Patriots. I told you guys, everybody in the AFC East is in the playoffs. Literally everybody in the AFC East is in the playoffs right now. So, with that being said, oh my God. The reason why I just said, oh my God, is because Titans offensive coordinator Todd Downing just got arrested for a DUI. Anyways, literally everybody in the AFC East is in the playoffs. Even the Patriots. And then on the bubble, you got the Chargers and the Bengals. Those are really the only 2 teams that are really a threat for that 7th seed. I don't see the Colts, and yeah, they have a chance, but I don't see the Colts nor the Browns jockeying anybody for that 7th seed. So that's the playoff picture on the AFC side of things. Still wide open. Still a lot of rearranging, but for the most part, you could see any of these teams, regardless the seed, in the playoffs. It's really going to be hard for me to believe that the Bengals going to miss the playoffs with that roster. But then again, I'm not surprised. They got to take care of business. Still a lot of football left. They got to match up versus the Steelers, which they should win. And again, the Chargers got to match up with the Chiefs. That's very winnable. But let's transition over to the NFC side of things. As you can see, 1 seed got the Eagles. 2 seed, you got the Minnesota Vikings. Right? So back to the 1 seed for a second. You got the Eagles first in the NFC. As of right now, got the first round bye. The Colts, they have the matchup versus the Colts that they very well could lose. For the simple fact that they can get the ball run on, probably not anymore, because they just addressed it with getting Limbaugh Joseph, not only Limbaugh Joseph, but getting Ndamukong Suh. So trying to run on the Eagles probably won't be as easy as it was for the Washington Commanders or the Texans. But you definitely still could find a way to beat them. I would not be surprised if the Colts, find a way to, edge out one versus the Eagles. But I think for the most part, the Eagles will get back on track. They'll be 9-1. I can see the Vikings definitely beating the Cowboys, but I can also see the Cowboys bouncing back and beating the Vikings. But these two teams right here, Vikings and Eagles, are going to be the teams that most likely get that 1 seed. And more likely than not, their matchup early in the season is going to come down to determine that. And that edge is going to be to the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles beat the Vikings, and that's their only loss on the season so far. So, yeah. Then you got a 3 seed, the Seahawks. Again, it's tough for me, man. Because the Seahawks' magical season is cool. It's fun to watch and whatnot. But like I said, early in the season, when I was starting to turn the page, but the Germany game was all I needed to see from Geno Smith to realize, Geno Smith he's just having a year. Like, he's just having one of those magical seasons. He's not really that good. He's okay, but he's not anything that you should fear. He's not anything that could go in and probably win a playoff game or two. Like, if anything, Seattle, if they want to win, it's probably going to be on the back of that defense. But I'm not saying Geno Smith can't win games. But I'm saying when he needs them, when they need Geno Smith, how high are the chances for him to come through? Like, prime example. Let's say they stay the 3 seed. And then they host, let's just say they host Dallas, or they host, let's say Washington jumps the Cowboys for the 6 seed. How comfortable and confident are you in Geno Smith to beat the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys trailing late in the game? Let's say they're down 21 to 15. They need a Geno Smith touchdown to win them the game. How comfortable and confident are you in Geno Smith to win you that game? Not saying it's not possible. Anything's possible, obviously. But how confident are you in Geno Smith to do that? Me, not so confident. And I'm only saying that for the simple fact that they may not, it's not necessarily that they want to miss the playoffs, but look who's here. The 49ers, they're back in it. And with a win this Sunday, they could be a game out of first place in the NFC West. So with all the magician and magical season that the Seahawks are able to have, they're right. Someone's right on their heels now. For the longest, they were comfortable. Wasn't really nobody that was right there about it. But now the 49ers are. And with the matchup versus the Cardinals this Sunday, which is a very winnable game, and Seahawks to see their first real threat this season. Then you got next game, you got the Bucks, or next seed rather. You got the Bucks at the 4th seed. How I feel about the AFC South is how I feel about the NFC North. Just give the Bucks the division crown right now. Nobody in that division is going to take it from them. Nobody in that division is really a threat. I know people want to say the NFC South is the NFC East from 2020 this year. Well, that may be true. At the same time, the NFC East didn't have a team like the Bucks that were 5-5 at one point, and the odds-on favorite, obviously, and you can clearly see that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's a threat. The Saints are a threat, the Panthers are a threat, and the Falcons are on a threat. Like, if anything, the Falcons are the only team that you can still see, oh yeah, they could possibly take one, but I really don't see that. Bucks are good. They're going to win the NFC South, and that's a team that's going to possibly be scary in the playoffs, just because, they got Tom Brady and what. Then you got the 5th seed, New York Giants. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought the New York Giants would have been 7-2 right now in the 5th seed of the playoffs with a win this Sunday and an Eagles loss? They could be tied for the first place in the NFC. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? Not me. I thought, the Giants had a chance to stay, competitive for the simple fact that the division is or the schedule rather is not that hard. I thought 7 games was probably what they're going to win, max. They're at that right now. They're 7-2. And as much as I hate the Giants as my rival, you can't sit here and be like, oh, look how easy their schedule is. They have to beat whoever's on the schedule. You can't control that. You can't control who they play. Like, they played the Lions this week. You can't control that. So I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan when people try to come for my team, and I'm not a big fan when people try to come for it overall. Like, obviously, it's a thing. Like, you're playing an easy schedule, but they can't control that. They have to play what they have to play, and they still have to beat them. And that's what the Giants have been doing. And ladies and gentlemen, let's not get shocked here, but there's a real possibility that the playoffs may run through MetLife Stadium. Like, Daniel Jones-led Giants may have the 1 seed. Like, that's crazy. The Cowboys are the 6th seed right now, and they got a matchup with the Vikings. And Cowboys fans, don't look now, but if y'all lose and we win, we're 1 game out of that 5th seed. But look, a lot of things have to happen, right? I'm looking too far ahead, but if we win, we go to 6-5, y'all go to 6-4, and then the 49ers win. I'm pretty sure y'all either swap places or y'all be tied, obviously, but obviously visually, look, someone has to jump each other. Either y'all gonna stay right there, or they're gonna jump you. And let's just say they jump you, they go to 6 y'all to 7 seed. If we win, we're 6-5. And now y'all 6-4. We're 1 game behind y'all. And again, like I said, like I was telling Brill earlier, the last game of the season at FedEx Field, Week 18, could be for the 6th seed or the 7th seed, depending on how all things play out, winning you're in kind of situation. That could very well be the thing. But they have a very winnable game versus the Vikings this Sunday, which I honestly, all biases aside, I can see them winning. If they continue to run the ball like they should, play some defense. I see Justin Jefferson killing Trayvon Diggs, but I can see them winning that game. Like, all jokes aside, but let's just hope not. And then you got the 7th seed. You got the 7th seed, 49ers. They're 5-4 right now, 2nd in the West. And again, like I was saying earlier, they have a real chance to not only hold on to that 7th seed and possibly move up to the 6th seed with a Cowboys loss and a 49ers win, but they will now be 1 game behind the Seahawks for the 3 seed. Like I said, for all season long, the Seahawks were comfortable. They didn't really have nobody on their heels. Now that's not the case anymore. You see that? 49ers say, I'm here. I'm right there. So there's a lot of implications going on right now. Then you go to the AFC. You see them boys right there. You see the fellas, the good guys. I don't know why I said them boys like the Cowboys, but you see the fellas right here, man. The Washington Commanders sit at 8 or the 8th seed, 5-5, with the matchup versus the 1-7-1 Texans. If we could find a way, and we gotta be rooting hard this week. Got to be rooting hard this week for the Cardinals, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Colts. But really specifically, if we want to get back in this thing, which we're one game out of, if we win, take care of business versus the Texans, and then we watch this game really closely, like, yeah, if the Cowboys lose, that's cool. Like, that's obviously cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we want that to happen, but we're really, our main focus, because we're taking it week by week, is really right here in the 7th seed. If we win, take care of business versus the Texans, and 425, we sit down and pay attention to this game, we got to be rooting hard for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to get Kyler Murray back this week. They're coming off of a win versus the Rams. So they're feeling a little confident, and they're like, hey, man, we're not dead yet. If they can find a way to get a win over the 49ers, and then we win. So look, if we win, 49ers lose, we jump up to the 7th seed, and then regardless of the fact of this outcome, the whole NFC East will be in the playoffs. So there's big implications on this weekend. Again, it's only week 11. You know, there's still a ton of football to be played even after this week. But it'll be fun. It'll be good. It's a lot to pay attention to. But you want to know the beauty? You want to know why I'm not stressing with the Washington Commanders right now? And I realize that is everything we want is still in front of us. We still control our destination where we want to take this season. Why? Because we play everybody that's in front of us, really. We play the 49ers. We play the Cowboys one more time. We play the Giants twice. We already finished the season series with the Eagles. We split with them. I mean, we lost to the Vikings, and we don't play Seattle, but we, for the most part, for the wild card spots, we play the 49ers. We play the Falcons, okay? We play the Cowboys again, and we play the Giants twice. So everything we want is still in front of us. We don't have to worry about this. The Packers already beat them, and they're pretty much done. We don't play the Cardinals. We don't have to worry about them as long as we win. Really, the only thing we got to worry about is keeping the Falcons behind us. But they're not really going to make the playoffs unless they win their division, which I don't see happening. So for the most part, we just got to worry about what's in front of us. Don't look behind us. There's no reason to do that. Just worry about what's in front of you. What's in front of you is beating the Texans. And if you can beat the Texans, then you worry about this. And then if that's happened and they lose, the 49ers, that's being the team that lose, and the Cardinals win, you're right there in the 7th seed for the time being. And then all you have to do is continue to win. Then you got to match up with the Falcons, which is a very winnable game. And then after that, I believe you got to match up with the Giants, or you either got to match up with the Giants or the 49ers. But you got winnable games left on your schedule, Commanders. All you got to do is win. Like, literally, wherever this season's going to go, it's on your shoulders. Like, you don't have to put it in nobody else's hands, okay? It's literally on your shoulders wherever you want to go with this season. And it started last week with the win versus the Eagles. Now you got to take that momentum into the Texas game. And I feel like the coaches have been doing a really good job this week, not allowing the players to overlook the 1-7-1 Texans, because this is a team that has nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. So they're going to play their hearts out. Now, we got to do a good job of not allowing this team to beat us. We got to find a way to beat this team. We got to treat this team as if they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. We got to treat this team like they're the undefeated Eagles. We can't go to RNG Stadium loafing, because they will definitely try to steal it. 1-7-1 Texans on the horizon for the Commanders. Everything we want is literally still in front of us. So let's not sit here and loaf and lose to the Texans. So that's the playoff picture for both sides. We'll constantly take a close look at this every single week because as the season narrows down, playoffs gears up. A lot of teams are going to be jockeying for position, and it'll be fun to see where it goes. So let's take this time to promote the show. You're now tuned into Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Hope you guys are enjoying it. If you're new, please like this channel, subscribe to the show or to the channel Juan Gotti Talking Sports. We go live here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to be that morning show that you listen to on your way to work, at work. We're going to be that morning sports show that you do listen to whatever morning activities you're doing, whether you're in the gym, whether you're doing grocery shop, whatever you're doing. I want to be that show you listen to. And we're here with episode 6 of Top of the Morning. It's been a fun journey starting this thing, and we have a long way to go. But I appreciate everyone for being here, rocking with me this morning. How's your morning going so far? You got the coffee this morning? How's work going if you're there? How's work going to go if you're on your way? What are you currently doing while you're listening to this show? And if you miss it live, don't worry, because you can find it on all podcasting platforms. Just type in Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti or with Juan Gotti, and it'll come right up. What do y'all morning activities consist of right now, along with listening to Top of the Morning Show? The next segment we have coming up here shortly is going to be Texans Packers recap, because now we got a lot to talk about with getting some news about the offensive coordinator. But before we do that, let's transition into our next segment here. That is going to be shout out segment, where we're going to be shouting out the chat here. That's why it's important that you get live, so you can get your name read live on the air. When we get a lot of more people in here in the future, we'll get a call-in show going, but we're still wrapping things up. But let's transition now to the shout-out segment. So get your comments down there, comment your tail off so you can get recognized in the chat. Let's start with the first guy here. Alante, my guy Alante, welcome. You're now tuned into Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Alante says, "What's up, my guy? What's going on, Alante? You're always here. You're always, one of the first people in the chat room. So I appreciate you for supporting and being here, my guy. Shout out to Alante. Red Ball Manders. What's going on, Red Ball Manders? You're tuned into Juan Gotti Talking Sports, Top of the Morning Show. How you doing, Red Ball Manders? He said, whoever loses on the Thanksgiving game between Giants and Cowboys is the team Washington has a chance of leapfrogging. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, we have a chance of leapfrogging both teams, but I definitely agree with that point. But also, and I know we don't want to hear this as Washington fans, but we have, but there's a realistic chance that playoffs football will be running through the the MetLife Stadium. Like, that's a realistic thing. Like the Cowboys, the Giants have a real chance to get a first round bye and have home field advantage. That's crazy, but I definitely agree with you, Red Ball Manders. Whatever team loses on Thanksgiving is the team Washington has a chance to leapfrog it. Hold on. Let me see if I can pronounce your name right. Inconclusively vibing. I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. How you doing? I'm just calling you Vibing. How you doing, Vibing? I appreciate you for tuning in to the Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Appreciate you and your support for being here. Thank you so much. DeAndre Taylor, my guy, DeAndre Taylor, another guy that's always here supporting the channel and supporting the Top of the Morning Show. DeAndre Taylor, what's going on? Braces, rise and grind to you, my man. Appreciate you for always being here too. Just like my man Alante. DeAndre Taylor also says, what if we see Miami versus Kansas City? I could definitely see a Miami versus Kansas City AFC championship. That is not a surprise to me if we see that happen. I can see that. I can see that being played in Miami. I can see that being played in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Both teams are more likely than I'm not gonna say. Well, I'm not gonna say that for the Dolphins yet. Let me just say for the Dolphins, they're in a good position to win their division. But more likely than not, the Kansas City Chiefs will be the team that will get their division crown. And it'll more likely than not be in Kansas City because they'll probably be the 1 seed. But I could definitely see a Kansas City versus Dolphins AFC championship matchup. Alante says, "What's up? What's going on, Alante?" Alante says, "Keep it at 9 a.m." Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm definitely, the show will be at 9 a.m., but I was only going to do a 7 a.m. episode one time just to see the turnout, see if we have more people come in the stream at 7 a.m. Because, that's more of a lot of people are going to be going to work at 7 a.m., so they're going to be driving in their cars. 9 a.m. may be, a little bit late just for the simple fact that, people probably are already at work and whatnot. So 9 a.m. is going to be the time for the show. That's not changing. Only this one time, more likely not Monday morning is when I'll do it. Is when I'll go live at 7 a.m. just to see the turnout. See if we have more people live at 7 a.m. Viewing this thing. Maybe 7 a.m. will be the first time we don the call-in if we have enough people. But I'm just going to test out. But again, 9 a.m. is the show where Top of the Morning goes live. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm just trying something new for Monday's day only. This Monday to see if we get more people in. Bro says, bro, y'all not going nowhere. Still can't beat the boys. We're going to beat the Cowboys. I have a good feeling we can beat the Cowboys. I'm telling you, Week 18 may come down to us versus y'all at FedEx Field for the playoffs. And that game will be crazy. Shout out to you, though. Man. Endorman 901. Endorman, appreciate you for listening to the Top of the Morning show hosted by Juan Gotti. He says, Dallas can't stop the run. Appreciate you for that comment. And yeah, Dallas can't stop the run. And we're not a run-heavy team. We're a team that can control the clock, though. Like, our yards per carry name may not be a lot, but we'll definitely find ourselves in constant third and shorts that will allow us to pick up third downs. So I definitely agree with you on that. Shout out to you. Appreciate you for listening to the Top of the Morning show hosted by Juan Gotti. Brian Harden, appreciate you for coming through the stream. Brian Harden, BH is another guy that's on base here. BH says, thinking of the 2008 Giants run, beat 3 teams on the road and chip. Why not us? I agree. That's what I'm saying. And not only just for why not us, but that's literally for any team in the playoffs, including, even though I was talking about the Seahawks earlier, include the Seahawks. Even though I don't believe in Geno Smith to do anything like that, they could very well do something like that. You go to the AFC side of things. Who says the Jets can't go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo? Right? Who says New England can't go into Miami and beat Miami? Even though they never do that. But who says that? Who says that can happen? Who says the Ravens can't beat a team like the Titans or the Jets or the Bills? Like, everything is so wide open for both sides of things. Like, who says the 49ers can't knock off the Vikings, can't knock off the Eagles? Who says the Commanders can't knock off the Giants, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Vikings? Like, everything is so wide open this year. I love it. This is probably one of my most favorite seasons because everything is so open. So, BH, you're totally right. We could definitely see a 2008 run from our Washington Commanders or just a team in general. Like, just because you're the favorite, you're the division leader, you're the division winner, so you had the home game, that doesn't necessarily mean You're guaranteed to win. Alante says Beast of the East Super Bowl. Hey, that would be cool because both AFC or both East divisions, I have to say, AFC and NFC divisions, are beasts this year. I mean, I just read it all to you. Everybody in the AFC East is in the playoffs right now. And the Washington Commanders could make that the same thing this weekend. If we beat the Texans and the Cardinals beat the 49ers, that could be the same thing for us too. So, it's crazy. Kevin the PRF. What's going on, Kevin the PRF? He says, morning. Good morning to you, Kevin the PRF. How are you doing this morning, Kevin the PRF? Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. That goes live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. But we'll be doing a special episode where we go live at 7 a.m. Monday morning. Appreciate you for tuning in, Kevin the PRF. Thank you. 7 Legs Fairly. Appreciate you. Fairy, rather. Appreciate you, 7 Legs Fairy, for coming through the chat and the channel and listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. 7 Lex Fairy says, hi, host. Chat. What's going on, 7 Lex? How are you doing? I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Then you got Uptown Dre. What's going on, Uptown Dre? Uptown Dre's another guy that's always here. Yo, great morning, comrade. What's going on, Uptown Dre? Appreciate you for coming through listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Appreciate you, Uptown Dre. DeAndre Taylor says, we really can get there, Juan. We just got to take care of business starting Sunday. And I agree. That's all you can do. We control where we want to go with this season. Okay? If we want to make it to the playoffs, you know what you got to do. You got to win these games. It's not in the hands of nobody else. You got to win these games if you're the Commanders. If you want to lose, if you want your season to be over and not play postseason football, then you know what you do. You lose. More of the story for the Washington Commanders. Everything you want is in your hands. Okay? You let a few slip away early in the season that comes back to bite you because this team very well should be 7-3. Really, it should. But we're not going to complain about that anymore. What's done is what's done. Just worry about what you can control right now, and that's winning games that you have in front of you. That's the Texans. Narrow focus, narrow your vision on the Texans. I agree with you, DeAndre Taylor. It really started Monday, but it continues on Sunday. Super Chef. What's going on, Super Chef? I appreciate you for being here this morning, Super Chef. I'm assuming you're a chef, Super Chef. Where am I play that, Super Chef? Where can I buy a play that, Super Chef? I'm assuming that's what that stands for. You cook. Where can I get a play that? You know what I'm saying? How much are the plates? Top of the morning, bro. Great show. Hashtag Take Command, Super Chef. I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by one guy. Top of the morning to you too, brother. Appreciate you for being here and listening to Top of the Morning, making this the show you listen to in the morning, whether you're at work, whether you're on your way to work, whether you're working out, whatever morning activities you're doing, whether that's for you cooking in the morning. Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by one guy. Then you go over to Commander DJ. What's going on, Commander DJ? How you doing, Commander DJ? Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. That goes live 9 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But for an exception, on Monday, I will be going live at 7 a.m. just to see if we have a better turnout. You know what I'm saying? See if we have more people that want to come during that time of that morning. But I appreciate you for Commander DJ for coming through. How you doing, Commander DJ? He says, what's good, Juan? What's good, Commander DJ? Then you got Jonathan Oliver. What's going on, Jonathan Oliver? I appreciate you for listening to the Top of the Morning Show, hosted by One Gotti. Just leave this video a like, subscribe if you do want to run to 5,000 subscribers, man. Let's get there. One Gotti Talking Sports at the channel. And if you can't listen to it live, it's on podcast platforms. Just look up Top of the Morning Show with One Gotti, and it comes right up. Jonathan Oliver says, top of the top, my boy. What's going on, Jonathan Oliver? How you doing? Top of the morning to you, bro. Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show. Vanguard ENTV. Good morning, Vanguard ENTV. How you doing? I appreciate you for coming through, listening to the top of the morning show hosted by Juan Gotti. Vanguard ENTV says, beat the Texans. LFG. Getting his little Tom Brady on. Let's effing go. Shout out to Vanguard Ian. He says beat the Texans. And simple as that. We got to beat the Texans. Casper Hill. What's going on, Casper Hill? Feels like it's been a while, Casper Hill. Maybe I'm tripping. Feels like it's been a while. Casper Hill, I appreciate you for coming through the channel, listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Appreciate you, Casper Hill. Thank you so much for tuning in. Frank West. What's going on, Frank West? Or, sorry, Casper Hill. Casper Hill says, yo, what's good? What's good, Casper Hill? My fault, I didn't read your comment. That's on me. Got you. Frank West. What's going on, Frank West? Good morning to you, Frank West. Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Frank West says, say my name. I'm a huge fan of you. I appreciate that, Frank West. You know what, Frank West? There you have it, my man. Frank West! Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Frank West, how's your morning going so far today? I hope it's going well for each and every one of you, especially my man, Frank West. Shout out to Frank West, and I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. PIMP. Hopefully I said that right. PIMP. Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. That goes live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. Except for this Monday, we're going live at 7 a.m. And you already know Sunday, we doing the live play-by-play for the Texans game. Washington Commanders versus Texans. You already know where to find. Let's go. PIMP, appreciate you for listening to the show this morning. PIMP says, I really hope we stomp the Texans. My heart can't take it anymore. And that's what I hope too. I hope we have a convincing win versus the Texans. But can I let you in on a little something? PIMP. And I'm sure you know that because you watch this team just as closely as me. We know that's not happening. Okay. We know if we win this game this Sunday, it's gonna be a nail biter, it's gonna be a close game. All we can do is hope and pray that it's gonna be that we can win comfortably. But we know this team ain't gonna make it comfortable on us. They never do. But we can pray that they make it close. That they not make it close. That they blow this team out. But we know the Commanders. Let's just hope it's different this time. But PIMP, I appreciate you for being here this morning, listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Next comment, next shout out goes to Dennis Stewart. What's going on, Dennis Stewart? How you doing this morning, Dennis Stewart? I appreciate you for being here listening to Top of the Morning Show. Make it Top of the Morning Show hosted by Juan Gotti. Your listen in the morning time. Dennis Stewart says, hashtag HTTT, hashtag HTTC, hell to the Commanders. Shout out to you, Dennis Stewart. I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show. And you already know, hell to the Commanders. Take command, baby. PIMP also says, what's the update on Chase Young? Is he playing this Sunday? More likely than not, Chase Young will be playing Sunday, but it's still not confirmed. It's either this week or next week. You have to play me either this week or next week. Ron Rivera actually said that we will have an update on Chase Young on Friday, which is today. So we should have an update later on today. And stay tuned for the video that will come out on him this today. Oh, and I have another announcement that I'm excited about. It's really about boxing. It's about the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight. I'm not the biggest boxing fan, but Gervonta Davis is like the only one I really watch. And Ryan Garcia is another boxer that I know. I'm super excited for that fight. I can't wait for that one. I'm super excited for it. I may even stream that fight because those are two of the only boxers that I really pay attention to, that I really know of. really Ryan Garcia for his social media presence, and Tank Davis for his for how good he is. That's the only box that my family really watches. I mean, they watch other people too, but like as far as like the Floyd Mayweather, throw a fight party, come to the fight party kind of thing, Gervonta Davis is like the only guy that they throw parties for. Not named Floyd Mayweather like they used to. All the time they throw the Floyd Mayweather parties, and they do the same thing for Tank. I'm excited for that fight. I can't wait for it. They kind of got my neck because I thought they were saying the fight was January 7th, but they just announcing that it's coming, that it's locked in sometime in 2023. They'll probably be like the summertime of 2023. But Gervonta Davis has a fight January 7th. I'm excited for that one. But that Ryan Garcia fight, man, I'm excited for that one. But I just had to get that out. PIMP says, back to PIMP comments, sorry. Update on Chase Young. Yeah, we should have an update on him today per Ron Rivera, but more likely than not, he'll be playing. But again, if it's not this week versus the Texans, it's next week versus the Falcons. It has to. Okay, you can no longer hold him out. Next comment. The Hawk. Oh my God. I ain't never gonna try to do that again. I ain't gonna never try to do that again. I ain't never gonna try to do that again, Hulk. My fault. My fault for butchering your name, Hulk. My bad. That's on me. Hulk, the Hulk TV, though. I tried to go high pitch with it. You know what I'm saying? I tried to go high pitch with the Hulk. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? My fault. You know what I'm saying? My fault, Hulk. The Hulk TV. Good morning to you. I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. The Hulk TV says, good morning to everyone, and Juan Gotti with the short cut. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. I had to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? The long hair was cool and all. But I could rock it both. I could rock the long cut. I could rock the short cut. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, the long hair will be back. You see how fast my hair growing. By the time me rocking a short cut, I may even keep this for this. May be my new look. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, Hulk TV, for being here and listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Fat American says, shout out to Fat American before I read your comment. Appreciate you, Fat American, for being here listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That goes live at 9 a.m. Except for this Monday, we'll go live at 7 a.m. Fat American has a super chat also. I appreciate you, Fat American, for the super chat. Thank you so much, Fat American. Fat American says, bro, you're too young to remember the 05 season. You ain't know. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I was 2 years old when the 05 season happened. I know you love the 05 season, man. You know what I'm saying? According to Fat American, the way Fat American treats the 05 season, you would think we won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? The way Fat American loves the year 2005. But yeah, I'm definitely too young to remember 2005, man. I was only 2 years old. Okay, so the only playoff kind of talk that I know of is 2012 RG3, 2015 Kirk Cousins, and then the 2020 we won the trashy NFC East. That's all I know, bro. I didn't get to experience the great 2005. Tell me more about it. Appreciate you, Fat American. Thank you so much. Richard Rear. Hopefully I said that right, Richard Rear. How you doing, Richard Rear? Good morning to you, Richard Rear. I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Appreciate you for being here, Richard Rear. Good morning to you. Fat American. Another super chat from Fat American. I appreciate you for the donation, Fat American, yet again. Thank you so much. He says, what do you think of this coaching staff so far? I feel like this group can actually grow the youngins. Been happy with the Young Bucks production so far. I appreciate you again, Fat American, for the super chat. What do I think of the coaching staff? Can I be honest with you, man? I honestly still am on the fence. Like, it's going to take, honestly, I'll be honest with you, bro. If we get into the playoffs, it's going to take me a playoff win to feel comfortable about this coaching staff moving forward. Like, let's not act like earlier in the season, a lot of people weren't calling for Ron job. I was one of them, okay? Because he just lacks the mental aspect of it. I still don't like Scott Turner. Just because Scott Turner had that one game Monday doesn't mean he's off the hook. That has to be consistent. That has to be week in and week out. Now I'll say this: if Monday's performance is what we're going to get, if that's going to be the standard, if that's what we're going to get week in and week out from this coaching staff moving forward, I'm fine with it. But for the simple fact that I've been with this coaching staff for 3 years, and I know that's probably not what we're going to get from them moving forward. They're not going to build consistency because that's the problem that they're lacking. Whether it's Ron Rivera or Scott Turner, they lack consistency. We're more likely than not probably not going to get that performance again. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm afraid I'm not. And with that being said, I still am not the biggest fan of this coaching staff. I still want him gone. I still want Ron Rivera. Only person I want back is Jack Del Rio. Okay, I would love Jack Del Rio to be the head coach, to be honest with you. I would prefer him to be the head coach. But if they prove me wrong and Monday was the start of the consistency from that aspect of how we perform Monday, I'm on board with keeping them around, and they're fine. I'm fine. And I'm pleased with the Young Bucks reduction too. Derek Forrest, Brian Robinson, De'Ami Brown, even though he doesn't get a lot of shine. You know what I'm saying? Any of the Young Bucks, I'm fine with it. I like their production too. But yeah, that's how I feel. Appreciate you again, Fat American, for the super chat. Let's see here. Who do we have next here? We Not Me TV. What's going on, We Not Me TV? I appreciate you, We Not Me TV, for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by one guy that goes live 9 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Catch it live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Except for this Monday, we're going live at 7 a.m. on Monday. And if you can't catch me live, don't worry. It's going to be on playback on YouTube. Not only can you watch the video version on YouTube, but you can also listen to the podcast version if you're on the go. Just type in Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Comes right up. We Not Me TV says, I'm your biggest fan, Juan. I'm your biggest fan too, We Not Me TV. Appreciate you. Fat American. Another comment from Fat American says, haha, yeah, that's right, 05 or nothing. Yeah, man, you love 05. So let me ask you this, Fat American. Fat American, if we somehow win the Super Bowl this year, are you going to now be screaming 2023 for forever now, or 2022 forever now? Or are you still going to be on your 05 bandwagon even if we win the Super Bowl this year? Answer that, Fat American. I'm interested. Fat American again with yet another super chat. I appreciate you again, Fat American. My God, thank you so much, Fat American. Says, the defensive side is cool. On offense, it's mainly Turner. He's not bad, but he's too inconsistent. If he can get consistent and not try and get too cute, he's good. Gotta accept that we are a running team. Now, I'll say this. I don't agree with that. I don't necessarily know that we're a running team. I think we're a team that if we come across the right team that we're playing against and the run game is seeding, yeah. But I wouldn't say we're necessarily a run team. I don't know. But I agree. Defensive side is good. Offensive side, it's mainly Turner. He is bad, Fat American. He's bad. I don't like him. If you know that, you know I don't like him. And I'm right there with you. It's his inconsistency. It's his ability to be too cute. It's his lack of situational awareness. Now, if again, like I said, Fat American, if Monday was the perfect picture, you say, hey, yeah, Juan, you'll get this from Scott Turner week in and week out. All right, then I'm good. But knowing Scott Turner, knowing that he lacks inconsistency, and a lot of people were saying that was his best game ever. I don't think that was his best first half ever. I feel like his second half was really he kind of switched it up a little bit in the second half. That's how I personally feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I personally feel like he went away from what was working in the second half. That's why we didn't score as much points, especially when we got in the red zone. You throw it on second and 3 and third and 3. No, run the ball twice. They couldn't stop the run all game. Why didn't you run? And instead, you go up 23-14, and you allow the Eagles some breathing room. You should have. The good teams go for the kill right there, and that's what we're not. That's what Scott Turner's not. A good call for a good play call. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you though. If he stays consistent, he'll be good. But again, I just know Scott Turner. I know he's not. But like I said, if you tell me, hey, Juan, I know this now. Scott Turner promised that he'll be the same each and every week, and that performance that you got from the Eagles games, what you're getting from Scott Turner, then I'm on board. But I agree with you, man. He's inconsistent, but to me, he is bad. And I hope we get a new offensive coordinator. Appreciate you, Fat American, again with the super chat. Horse 2X. Good morning to you, Horse. I appreciate you for coming through, listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Appreciate you for listening to it, Horse. Fat American with yet another super chat. Again, I appreciate you, Fat American. Thank you so much, man. Really into life. Fat American says, bro, this team is about to make me believe and say we only a good draft or two away, plus a QB for mid contenders, bro. This team is too abusive, bro. Fat American, would you believe me if I say I think we're just a quarterback away? I don't think we're two drafts. I think we're just a quarterback away. Yeah, you can improve at the offensive line. You can improve at the cornerback position, obviously. But this team is too talented to be 5-5. We should be 7-3 right now. Okay? This team is too talented. We are good right now. We just need a quarterback. I think so. Benjamin St. Juste is emerging as a cornerback one. Kendall Fuller's playing well. So, yeah, you can still upgrade the cornerback position. You can upgrade the offensive line, obviously. But, man, I think we're just a quarterback away. And we're going to be contenders. So, I think we're just a quarterback away. I don't think we're a good draft or two drafts away. I think we're one good draft away, really, Fat American. That's how I look at it. But I appreciate you for your comment. Fat America says, nah, bro, 05 forever. LOL, JK, I support the current. Yeah, man, I'm just saying. You know, I know you love 05 and all, but I think you got to switch it up. If we somehow make a playoff run or magically, God, please let this happen. We win a Super Bowl this year. I think 05 got to become the new 2022. Or the new 2022 has to become the new 05 for you now. Appreciate you, Fat American. Thank you so much. Fat American also says, well, without a QB, we have a good running team. We don't have the QB to be a pass team. We have to rely on our ground a ton. Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree. You got to play, game managing ball with Taylor Heineke. You know what I'm saying? Allow the run game to work. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't think we're just that dominant run team that's just going to run teams off the field. I don't think we have the offensive line for that. We got the backs for it, but I don't think we have the offensive line. Fat American also says, I'm not the biggest biggest Turner fan either, bro. Trust me. If he can keep calling games like he did against Philly, I'll be cool with him. He got that itch to the air stuff out, like, bro, come on. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Turner fan. I probably am the one that doesn't like him the most in the fan base. But if he continue to call games like he did Monday night, and that's what we're going to get on a consistent basis from him, I'm good with him. Fat American also says, yo, this is a way out there. This is way out there. But what would you think of Jay Gruden, or way out there, sorry, Jay Gruden getting hired as offensive coordinator? Me personally, and I saw your comment with, again, Louis' channel, and I was on your side. I know Louis T and other people probably were like, nah, man, I don't think this team would be better with Scott Turner. I was like, man, not with Jay Gruden, rather, at that time. I was like, man, I'm with Fat American. I agree. I think if Jay Gruden was this head coach, we'd be like 7-3 right now. Because, yeah, Jay Gruden wasn't the best, overall head coach, or, getting his team juiced up and whatnot. But looking back at games like Tennessee and Minnesota, if we had Jay Gruden, we as the offensive coordinator, we find a way to win those games. I believe so. You know what I'm saying? I think we will probably 7-3. Now, again, I understand what their point of view was. I don't think Jay Gruden will get this team juiced up, having them ready to run through a brick wall for them. I understand that aspect of things. But as far as in the middle of the game, offensive-wise, getting Terry the ball, I think if Jay Gruden was here, Terry would probably be a top 5 receiver, like, statistically. He would not have any issue with getting Terry McLaurin the ball. I mean, let's not forget Jay Gruden was the guy that drafted him. Okay, and he recently talked about Jay Gruden on one of these reporters' podcasts. Literally did with John Kahn with Kevin Sheehan's podcast. They talked about it. They said if we had a second round pick that because they traded up to get Montez Sweat. If they didn't have if they had a second round pick, they would have got Terry McLaurin in the 2019 draft. That's what Jay Gruden said. So I'm with you, Fat American. I agree. I definitely think if we had Jay Gruden here, we would probably be 7-3 with him. Fat American, I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you so much. You've been killing it today, Fat American. I appreciate you so much. He says definitely a QB away from main contenders, but I think we beef up the O-line and linebackers throughout the draft, plus a QB elite soon. Elite, son. Yeah, I mean, and I agree with that. Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb, even though we haven't seen Cole Holcomb over a month, he still doesn't know what to put. Those two guys have arrived. Mainly, Cole Holcomb's been here, in my opinion. He's going to get paid this offseason. But Jamin Davis has finally arrived. If we can get a little bit of depth help from them, we'll be good. Get some offensive line help, mainly some guards, man. I'm cool. Like, the tackle position is cool. You know what I'm saying? You could always upgrade Charles Leno, but if you want to roll with Charles Leno, I'm cool with that. But mainly the guards. You know what I'm saying? I want me a young, athletic guard, man. And I was hoping that was going to be Charles. It still would be him, at least for one of them. But we need two. We don't need any more Andrew Norwells or any more Trey Turners. We need some young, fast, pulling guards, man. Some guards that can get out in space on screens, open up holes for the backers. Because Trey Turner cannot do that. Andrew Norwell cannot do that. We need some young, fast, elusive, athletic guards. So, yeah, definitely. And then you can add cornerback in that mix, too. So appreciate you again, Fat America, for the super chat. Bruce, JJ26, I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. I appreciate you, Bruce. He says the defense playing good without William Jackson. Yeah, I think so. And I told you, it was just a scheme fit. I don't think William Jackson is the worst cornerback ever. I think he'll go be good wherever else he goes. He's in Pittsburgh right now, but I haven't heard much from him in Pittsburgh. I don't know if he's playing in Pittsburgh or not yet. But I think he'll be better there. It was just a bad fit. And Ron Rivera came on and said that. So appreciate you, Bruce. Whew. That was a good segment. A great shout-out segment. I appreciate everyone that was in here. I appreciate Fat American. I appreciate everybody. Bruce, DeAndre Taylor, Frank West, everybody that I shout out that was in here this morning. I appreciate you. Now let's transition. I'll get these last two shout outs right from Fat American and Jason Dela Cruz. Fat American, hey, how you think the offense would be if we kept the same O-line from last year? I think it'll be better. I really do. Because look, who was the offensive line last year? It was Charles Leno, it was Sam Cosmi, it was Tyler Larson / Chase Roulier. And then the two guards were, Eric Flowers and Wes Schweitzer. I think we'll be much better. Because look, outside, it was the two guards that we replaced, or Brandon Sheriff, rather. Brandon Sheriff, too. Brandon Sheriff and Eric Flowers, backing up by Wes Schweitzer. I think we'll be way better. But even post Brandon Sheriff, if we have Eric Flowers and Wes Schweitzer, we'll be good. It's just the two guards that's holding this line back. Because for the most part, everybody else is the same. Whether it's Charles Leno and or whether it's Cosmi or Lucas, you know what I'm saying? I think we'll be good. Post Brandon Sheriff, as long as we have Eric Flowers and Wes Schweitzer. But I don't know why we let go of Eric Flowers, man, or didn't bring him back at least. But yeah, I think we'll be better. Jason Dela Cruz, appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti. Appreciate you, Jason Dela Cruz. Jason Dela Cruz says, how many wins do you think it's going to make the playoffs? A little late to the live stream. I think it's going to probably take about 10 or 11 wins to get to the playoffs. Maybe 10. I think we need 10 wins to get there. Appreciate you for Jason Dela Cruz for coming here. Doesn't matter if you're late. You being here means the most, okay? And it's all good, bro. You can always go back and watch it, on the video version on YouTube, or you can listen to it on the podcast version. They'll be up after this uploads here. Appreciate you, Jason Dela Cruz. Appreciate everybody that was in here, especially my man, Fat American, Frank West, DeAndre Taylor, Super Chef, everybody, y'all. Everybody, appreciate y'all for being here. Now let's transition into the last and final segment of the day. Thursday Night Football Rewind, as we take a look at the Tennessee Titans versus Green Bay Packers. As the Tennessee Titans go on a roll and beat Green Bay Packers, 27-17, in a game that Packers had so many opportunities to win. So many opportunities. Whether it was Rodgers missing open passes, whether it was just the offense not looking good. They had so many opportunities, and Packers are done. Packers are done. They're not winning the NFC North. You could just get Vikings that crown now. Okay, they're done. Titans, you can give, like I said, you can get the NFC North. You can get the Vikings their crown now. You can get the Titans their crown now, especially the Titans, because nobody's in the NFC South is close to them. They're good. You know that's like that every year. Ryan Tannehill was amazing yesterday. Outside that one mistake he had, he was amazing. How about that pass to Treylon Burks, bro? He was amazing. 22 for 27, 333, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. He was outstanding yesterday. Derrick Henry, 28 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown. And he also had a touchdown through the air. You know, the little jump throw that he always does down by the goal line. Touchdown. Derrick Henry. Titans were good. And again, the Titans could be real scary, man. If they can get this performance out of that defense like they've been doing all year, and the offense now with Ryan Tannehill back in the lineup, they could be scary and they can make some noise in the AFC, man. I'm not going to lie to you. As far as the Vikings go, or not the Vikings, Treylon Burks had a really good game. 7 receptions for 111 yards. Is that his breakout game? Possibly. But as far as the Packers go, Aaron Rodgers, 24 for 39, 227, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Aaron Jones, 12 carries for 40 yards on the ground. A.J. Dillon, 6 carries for 13 yards. Alan Lazard, or Randall Cobb, rather, being their lead receiver, 6 receptions, 73 yards. Alan Lazard, 5 receptions for 57. Christian Watson, 4 receptions for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. Golly. Oh, my God. Christian Watson had 5 touchdowns in 4 days at Lambeau Field. That's crazy. But yeah, that's all, really. It wasn't much to talk about. It was just about Packers season being done. The Titans really dominating that game. And missed opportunities by the Packers, and the Titans really run away with the AFC South. They're done. You can just give them their crown now. Nobody else in that division, not the Texans, not the Jaguars, not the Colts. Nobody in that division is competing. They're done. They can get their crown now, literally. The next story I want to talk about, though, we're going to this game, is their offensive coordinator. Titans fans want this guy gone so bad. They want him fired so bad, and this possibly may get it done. But Todd Downing was charged with a DUI and speeding after the win over the Packers, and they want him gone. They want him gone. So that I know Titans fans are happy about that, and they hope that he gets gone after that. But that's it for that. Not really much to talk about when it comes to that aspect of things. Let's give a few more shout outs and then we'll close it out. Good show this morning. I appreciate y'all for being here. Don't forget it. We'll be going live for the Texans versus Commanders game, or Commanders versus Texans game, this Sunday, live at 1 p.m. And then on Monday, we're here back for Top of the Morning Show, episode 7 of Top of the Morning Show. They'll go live not at 9 this time, but 7 a.m. just to do a little different, show for the one time. The set time is 9 a.m. for every other episode. Unless 7 a.m. gets way more popping than what we're doing now. Let's say 7 a.m. 80 people, 100 people in it. 7 a.m. is going to be the new time. But if I'm just testing out 7 a.m. to see if more people is going to come in during that time. But if not, 9 a.m. is going to be the set time. But I appreciate y'all so much today for making this show a good one. But let's get some more shout outs here. A couple more before we get out of here. Bucci Beats says, appreciate you, Bucci Beats, for being here listening to the Top of the Morning Show, hosted by Juan Gotti, that goes live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Bucci Beats says, I heard we getting Chase Young back. That's more likely than not the case. We're most likely going to get Chase Young back this week. If not this week, it has to be next week. Like, it's no more might be. If Chase Young is not playing this Sunday versus the Texans, he is playing next week versus the Falcons, because if he doesn't, then he has to go on season-ending IR. So we're either getting Chase Young back for this game or next game for sure. Gucci Beats. But stay tuned. I'll have a video on that out today because Ron Bird says we're getting an update on him for sure. So yeah, Gucci Beats, appreciate you for listening to Top Morning Show Talking Hogs podcast. Appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning Show hosted by Juan Gotti. I appreciate you, Talking Hogs podcast. Talking Hogs podcast says, yo, bro, what's good, Talking Hogs podcast? Appreciate you for coming through, listening to Top of the Morning Show hosted by Juan Gotti. Talking Hogs podcast also with the super sticker. Appreciate you, Talking Hogs podcast, for the super sticker. It means a lot. Thank you so much. And with that being said, Talking Hogs podcast taking us out. It's been a great morning. Hopefully the rest of your morning goes well, whether you're at work, whether you're on your way to work, whether you're exercising, whether you're grocery shopping, whatever morning activities you were doing while listening to this show. I hope they continue to go well for you. And I appreciate y'all for being here this morning. It was a wonderful morning chopping it up with y'all. And we're back at it for this show, specifically on Monday morning. But we're back live Sunday at 1 p.m. For the for the Washington Commanders and Houston Texans. And hopefully the Commanders can find a way to win and go 6-5 on the season. But I appreciate y'all for being here so much. Oh, Jason Dela Cruz, let me get to his question before we get out of my fault. Jason says, how would you people look at us if we would have been beat the Vikings in the Titans 7-3 record? And if we were 7-3 right now, we would probably be looking at like, oh, the Commanders are here. They're one of the top seeds in NFC. Don't sleep on them. They could possibly, make some noise. And not only would they make some noise for the wild card, they could get back in the division race. You know what I'm saying? That's how they would look at us. But that's in the past. We can't control. We let down those games away. We just only can control what's in front of us, and that is the Texans right now. So let's worry about that. But Jason Dela Cruz, I got you your question. I appreciate you for reminding me because I definitely was gonna miss it. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for being here so much. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys back here Sunday and Monday for the streams. As always, me and Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington Commanders and the NFL. Like this video if you are new. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. We're ever so close. And don't forget to check out the Morning Show podcast. If you missed it live, you can watch it back here on the video version, or you can listen to the podcast version on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Please leave it a 5-star rating if you can. It's free. And also subscribe to the channel. It's free. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys and girls so much for listening to the show this morning. As always, it's me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Come to the Washington Commanders. I'm out. Hey. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you driving.